The graph of the function f is shown below. Find the following if they exist. Okay, so let's go through these one at a time. First, we have the limit as x approaches -1, and then that little minus sign up there means from the left of f of x. So what we do is we find -1 on the graph. Here it is. And then we notice, since we have that little minus sign up there, that we are approaching -1 from the left. So I'm going to follow the graph from the left all the way until I get to -1, and then I look on the y-axis and I see that I'm at 3. So the value of this limit is 3. Next we have the limit as x approaches -1 from the right. So here's -1, and that little plus sign means that we are approaching from the right. So we start over here on the right on the graph and we go all the way up until we get to -1 on the x-axis. We look on the y-axis and we see 1. So the value of this limit must be 1. Next we have the limit as x approaches -1 of f of x. So we find -1, and since there isn't a plus or a minus sign, we're approaching from both directions. This is a two-sided limit. When we approached from the left, we got 3. When we approached from the right, we got 1. So that means this limit doesn't exist because those two values should agree. What's the value of the function at -1? Okay, well that's easy. Here's -1, and it looks like the value of the function is 3. Next we have the limit as x approaches 2 from the left of f of x. So we find 2 on the x-axis, there it is, and we're approaching from the left. That's because of that minus sign right there. And so from the left, so we start all the way over here on the left, trace the graph, and we jump down here, get closer and closer and closer to 2 on the x-axis, and it looks like we approach -2 on the y-axis. Next we have the limit as x approaches 2 from the right of f of x. So here is 2 on the x-axis, and we're approaching from the right. That's because of that plus sign right there. And so we approach from the right, and it looks like on the y-axis we get closer and closer to -2. So that's the value of the limit. Okay, now we have the limit as x approaches 2 of f of x. So here's 2 on the x-axis, and since there isn't a little plus or minus sign as a superscript, we're approaching from both directions, and we see both the left and the right limits are equal to -2. Now we're okay to say that this limit also equals -2. Finally, we have the value of the function at 2. Okay, again, this is pretty easy. We can find 2 on the x-axis, and it looks like on the y-axis, well, there's a hole there. So we have to look up here and see, oh, the function is actually defined to be 2 at 2. Notice that the limit as x approached 2 of the function was -2, but the value of the function at 2 is 2. And that's okay.